welcome to Vlogmas day number 4. It's your girl Charlotte, and I am going to be doing my recommended reads. What happens is I have officially taken off time from work and this work. And I said, the one thing I want to do before the end of the year, my hands are a little ashy, is I want to read. And so I have 7 books that I want to recommend to you guys. So here they are. Number 1 is Nature Swagger. I've been so excited. I got this book as soon as Rue got this book out, and I've been meaning to read it, but I haven't had time. But I'm going to make time, and I'm going to read it these last 2 weeks in December, and then I'm going to come back, guys, and talk to you about it and share with you all the things that I've learned in Nature Swagger. But let me tell you a little bit about it. It's called Nature Swagger by Rue Mapp. Stories and visions of Black joy in the outdoors. Okay, love that. What's really interesting about this too is that it says it's part of a Nature Swagger series. So, okay, I see you, Rue. It's not going to just be one book, honey. It's going to be several, and I can't wait to read them all. So this is an exquisite combination of beautiful photography. It does have beautiful pictures, and I wish I would have brought it. But I'll try to flash some on the screen. And compelling stories. This book is from Outdoor Afro's founder, Rue Mapp, and it celebrates Black joy in nature. I think, man, I know a little something about Black joy in nature, and so I'm super excited to read this book. This book showcases Black joy and strength in spaces which they have either historically been excluded, or less represented, and makes for an inventive and uplifting celebration of Black joy and culture. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read this and I ain't read it right. Forgive me. But at the end of the day, this is for anybody that cares about Black people being in the outdoors. It was also just for your average hikers and campers and birders and, of course, backpackers. The second book that I want to recommend and that I'm going to be reading in a couple weeks, and I promise to do a review on and tell you guys more about it, is called We Are Each Other's Harvest. What? Need I say that again? We Are Each Other's Harvest by Natalie Bazile. And guess what, y'all? She's from the author of Queen Sugar. Now, you know the Queen Sugar, the show. Oh my God, amazing. That was also directed by Ava DuVernay. Okay. This book comes with a beautiful exploration and celebration of Black farming in America. And it says, in this impressive anthology, Natalie brings together essays, poems, photography, quotes, conversations, and first-person stories to examine Black people's connection to the American land from emancipation up until today. That's deep. That's a lot of time. So it'll be interesting what we learn and discover in this book. Secondly, she reveals Black farming informs crucial aspects of American culture. The family, the way our national identity is bound up with the land. The way our national identity is bound up in the pull of memory and the healing power of food, and more importantly, how this could be probably really instrumental to race relations. She reminds us that the land, well earned and fiercely protected, transcends history, y'all, and signifies a home that can be tended to, tilled, and passed to succeeding generations with pride. Man, We Are Each Other's Harvest elevates the voices and stories of Black farmers and people of color, celebrating their perseverance, okay, and their resilience, y'all, while spotlighting the challenges they continue to face. Luminous and eye-opening, this electric collection helps people in communities of colors today reimagine what it means to be dedicated to the soil. Ooh, I can't wait to read this book. Just the title itself, and then you see the 2 sisters on the covers. So anyways, okay. This book I've been meaning to read for a while, and I haven't, but I'm going to get to it. So I'm so excited. I can't wait to share with y'all. Oh, I love reading. So I'm all about like just being in line with who I am. And my brand is going to have to deal with me, me and my stuff is that I like to read. So A Darker Wilderness, and has various authors. I've read portions of this book at different times over the years for different reasons. I've had it for a while. And so, but now I'm just going to read the whole thing and really, really kind of just really dig deep in there, right? It says, Black Nature Writing from Soil to Stars, y'all. What? A vibrant collection of personal and lyric essays and conversation with archival objects of Black history and memory. So this is what's interesting about, I wanted to read this because this is how they describe the book. It's like, what are the politics of nature? Who owns it? Where is it? And what role does it play in our lives? Does it need to be tamed? Does nature need to be tamed, y'all? Can I get an answer to that? Are we ourselves natural? In a darker wilderness, a constellation of luminary writers reflect on the significance of nature in their lived experience and on the role of nature in the lives of Black folks here in the United States. It's a scrapbook, a family chest, a quilt, okay, and an astounding work of historical engagement and literary accomplishment. This book is a collection brimming with abundance and insight. Ooh, I can't wait to dig in. For real this time. This other book I've read before, it's called Black Faces, White Spaces by Carolyn Finney, who has been kind of like, she's been one of the authors that's been doing a lot of writing around Black people in outdoor spaces. I feel like I've read a lot of articles by her. I always come across her. I've been to probably several lectures that she's done. So this sister she's always talking about us in the great outdoors. This book is about reimagining the relationship of African Americans to the great outdoors. Why are African Americans so underrepresented when it comes to the interests of nature, outdoor recreation, or even environmentalism? In this thought-provoking study, Carolyn Finney looks beyond the discourse of the environmental justice movement to examine how the natural environment has been understood, how the natural environment has been commodified, and how the natural environment, how it represents both white and Black Americans. See, in this book, she's trying to bridge the fields of environmental history, cultural studies, critical race theories, studies, and geography. Finney argues that the legacies of slavery, Jim Crow, and racial violence have shaped cultural understandings of the great outdoors, okay, y'all, and has determined like who should and can have access to natural spaces, drawing on a variety of sources from film, literature, popular culture, and analyzing different historical moments, including the establishment of the Wilderness Act in 1964. Now I read this, now I remember this. I can't wait to come back and tell y'all about this book and tell y'all about the Wilderness. As a matter of fact, I think I'm gonna write an article about the Wilderness Act 1964 because I think it's important for Black people to understand everything that happened around there. And then the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, which she so eloquently kind of really helps us understand how that happened. I'm not gonna cuss, even though I want to. Finney reveals that the perceived, and then also the real ways in which nature and the environment are, guess what, y'all, racialized. Right here in America. That's wrong. Looking toward the future, she also highlights the work of African Americans who are opening the doors to the greater participation in environmentalism and conservation concerns. There's a lot of us doing this work, y'all, straight up. I mean, woo! So happy about that. Oh, the next book is Colors of Nature by Allison Hawthorne Deming and Laurette E. Savoy. I've never read this book, but I've been wanting to. The cover is amazing. Look how beautiful it is. I love the yellow. It's so dynamic. This book is Culture, Identity in the Natural World, and it's like from African American to Asian American, indigenous to immigrant, multiracial or mixed blood, honey. The diversity of cultures in this world is matched only by the diversity of stories explaining our cultural origins, stories of creation and destruction, displacement and heartbreak, hope and mystery. Woo! Some of the people that write in this book are Jamaica Kincaid, Yusuf Komanyaka was one of my favorite poets, and Bell Hooks, honey, okay. There are about 35 other examinations of relationship between culture and nature in this collection that points toward the trouble of ignoring our cultural heritage, but also reveals how opening our eyes and our minds might prove or provide us with a more, well, livable future. I'm all for it. I feel you. Rooted in the Earth by Dion D. Glaive. I think it's Diane. No, it's not Diane. I think it's Dion D. Glaive. Reclaiming the African American environmental heritage. She's been doing a lot. This is another one. Carolyn Finney and Dion. They both have been doing this work for a really long time, and they've really been really at the forefront of really educating us. But so with the basis in environmental history, this groundbreaking study challenges the ideal that a meaningful attachment to nature and the outdoors is contrary to the Black experience. The discussion shows that contemporary African American culture is usually seen as urban culture, one that rose out of the Great Migration and has contributed to international trends in fashion, music, and arts ever since. However, because of this urban focus, which is like a big fat lie, because guess what? The majority of Black people in this country live in non-urban areas. Did y'all know that? Okay, anyways, many African Americans are not at peace with their rich but tangled agrarian legacy. And we have a deep agrarian legacy because we came here and we're the ones that tilled and this land. We're the one that got the fruit and the cotton out of the soil. So what this says is that on one hand, this book shows nature and violence are connected in Black memory. I remember when I read this book now. Especially in the disturbing images, like slave ships in the ocean, or exhaustion in the fields, or dogs in the woods, or, dead Black bodies hanging from trees. In contrast, though, there is also competing tradition of African American stewardship of the land. Of course, because we knew how to take care of the land and how that should be known much better. She's emphasizing the tradition of Black environmentalism and using storytelling techniques to dramatize the work of Black naturalists. This account corrects the record. It corrects the record because the record that y'all reporting on is wrong, and it urges interested urban dwellers, to get back to the land. Imagine that. I love it. And then I was going to do 6 books, but then I decided I'm going to do 7. I'm going to try to do 7 if I... But even if I don't, y'all can try to get all 7 done, and then we can have a little book group. All right. So, Braiding Sweetgrass. I just think the title of this book is so lovely. Braiding Sweetgrass. Robin Wall Kimmerer. I don't know if I'm saying that wrong. No, I'm saying it wrong, but forgive me. So, Indigenous Wisdom, Scientific Knowledge, and the Teachings of Plants. I can't wait to read this book. I've read some little snippets of it, but and I'm a science girl and I love nature, so I'm like, when you blending all that together with me and with indigenous culture, because I'm always down for like the indigenous influence, impact, understanding. So anyways, it says they call this work a mesmerizing storyteller with deep compassion and memorable prose. Okay, well, I'm about to read this like right now, because if the prose is memorable, I'm all for it. That's what Publisher Weekly said. Anyone interested in natural history, botany, protecting nature, or Native American culture will love this book. As a botanist, Robin asks questions of nature with the tools of science. Interesting. As a member of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation, she embraces indigenous teachings that consider plants and animals to be our oldest teachers. Shut the front door. She brings these two lenses of knowledge together to take us on a journey that is every bit as mythic as it is scientific. And let's just tell the truth and shame the devil. What is mythic is scientific. Also, what is as sacred as it is historical, and as clever as it is wise. In the words of Elizabeth Gilbert, another one of my favorite authors. Drawing on her life as an indigenous scientist, a mother and a woman, she shows us how other living beings offer us gifts and lessons, even if we've forgotten how to hear their voices. Woo! All right, y'all. So these are my recommended reads for the holiday season. Just try to get knee deep in them. And then what I will do is I will do a review once a week starting in January. And maybe what I'll do is I'll pre-plan it, let you guys know, so that if you've read the book, you can come join me. I could do some lives and we can interact and engage. That would be fun. So thank you guys so much for joining in. And I'll see you tomorrow, but also I'll see you next month when we'll come back together and talk about these books. It's going to be, woo, I'm so excited. I'm so blessed, humbled, honored, and excited. All right, take good care of yourselves now, people. And as always, I'll see you outdoors. Peace and a whole bunch of love. Yeah, yeah.